My name is Katerina Diaz. I'm in 12th grade and I go to Terra Environmental Research Institute.
Nice. Thank you. So what happened that made you realize that you needed our service?
So I took the PSAT in 9th and 10th grade, and I immediately knew that I needed to start earlier because I would just get anxiety if I started like most kids my age. I usually start like right after like the junior year SAT that you take in school. That's when most people start. But I knew I had to start ahead of time because I did not want to be stressing like all my senior year to get bright futures and what I needed to get into my schools. So I wanted to start earlier.
And at the time, what I guess alarmed you? Like what prompted you to be like, oh, I need tutoring?
Well, I saw my scores and like I'm usually really good with school. Like I have good grades and stuff, but my SAT, like my PSAT scores, like were not where I expected they would be. So I knew that I'd probably need some type of tutoring to get used to those types of questions and to get a high score.
Right. So it didn't reflect how you were as a student in school.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you think that was the case?
I don't really know. It might be the type, like the way that the questions are set up, or maybe that maybe I hadn't learned those specific types of formulas in my classes. I don't know. It was weird. But
Like even after having taken our course, you still don't know? Is it one of those like you're like, I have no idea what happened, but I went up?
I don't know. I think I maybe had to just like refresh. Like I think it's mainly a lot of formulas that and tricks that you need to remember. So it might have just been that I didn't remember from my previous classes, so I just needed the course to like really push me and make me memorize the formulas, make me memorize those little tricks. Yeah.
But yeah, going into junior year pre-cal,
Mm-hmm.
although algebra 2 was like fresh, it's funny, like I just
Mm-hmm.
took it, but like who remembers what they ate 3 days ago in the morning? Do you
Yeah.
remember 3 days ago in the morning? Unless you eat the same thing every day?
No.
Probably not, right? So it's like people trying to remember algebra 1. When did you take algebra 1?
I took algebra one in 8th grade.
It's always an interesting question that I ask students, like, do you remember algebra 1? The ones who say no, I'm like, all right, yeah, this person knows what's up. People who say like, yeah, I remember algebra 1, I'm like,
Yeah, no,
are
definitely
you
not.
sure you know what you're talking about? Like, there's no way you're gonna remember every aspect of your 8th grade math class. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was probably so many things you guys like. There's so many things in that year that probably happened that like you don't even remember happened at all. So like, how could you even? You know what I mean?
And
Like
year my year was also COVID. So like we basically didn't get like half of the year
yeah.
with all of that. So I definitely don't remember that.
So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff you didn't remember. At least from what I saw in the prep course, you picked up everything really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So you fit that profile of student that is like, all right, yeah, you just forgot all this stuff, bro.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's other little like you said, like little tricks and SAT specific things. Like, have you taken stats before?
No, I've never taken stats.
You haven't taken it yet, yeah. So I mean, but we covered that in like one class.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another thing that students, I mean, that's still like 10% of the test or whatever, like standard deviation, margin of error, like that stuff will show up. And if you've never seen that, what are you
Yeah.
gonna do? That makes sense. Cool. Um, all right. How'd you end up hearing about us?
My mom is always on Instagram and she's always checking like for college and like SAT stuff. So she had like a few different places, but like she really liked Piece of Pie and she saw like the scores and like how you guys like show the improvement of the scores and how you give like little tips like weekly and stuff. So she really thought that it would work. And I'm pretty sure she heard from a few people that it was like good and you guys were really like improving some kids' scores. So she definitely wanted me to try it out.
Nice. And then like after she told you about it, whatever, and like what was your expectation of the virtual group learning environment?
Okay, so for the group learning environment, I was kind of scared because I have like a short attention span. So knowing that it was going to be in a group and it was also going to be around like 4 hours, I didn't think I'd be able to do it at all because to sit on a computer for 4 hours is so hard for me. And then on top of that, being in a group where it's not like one-on-one that they're like solely focused on you would be like hard for me. But since you guys do like the breakout rooms and it's like 5 people per room, they really make sure that they're like on top of everyone and they're like, send your answer after this question. oh, you did this one wrong, do it again and send it back to me before we continue. Like they're really on you to like be doing each problem, figuring it out, getting it right so you can move on, like even individually while you're in the group. So it's really it worked for me for sure.
How different was it from COVID?
Definitely very different because I think you guys were already used to like how to watch over each kid, whereas like in COVID, like no one really knew how to do it, and it'd be like we'd be in class and everyone would just be doing their own thing, and the teachers wouldn't know what you're doing or not. Like they'd just be sitting there hoping that you're doing your work, and they weren't really on top of you as much.
Nice. Okay. And the 4 hours, I know it's a lot. Listen, I'm not
Yeah.
here making this up. Um, how'd you manage that?
Um, Honestly, it was easier to manage than I thought it would be. I think it's just like I said, since they're on top of you so much, like it gets tiring, but they give you like a little like 15-minute break in between, which doesn't sound like a lot, but like just to like lay down or like be on your phone or whatever it is, get a snack, like really it just helps. And then by the time you get back, like you're better. Like sometimes the second half is a little more rough, like you're already kind of tired, but you just need to like push through and you'll be fine. Like it's not that bad.
Nice. And you did the course twice, but who were your tutors? I mean, how'd you like your tutors? I mean, I wasn't your tutor, but
Uh-huh. Yeah, the first time I honestly couldn't tell you. It really alternated a lot.
it was a long time ago.
I couldn't tell you the first time, but recently it was mainly Mars. And then I had like Corey twice. I had Vicky like maybe like three times, twice. But I mainly had Mars like for basically every single class. So that was good. I liked her. She was
Okay.
she was good, yeah. And she'd like talk to you too, not make it so like, oh, only work. Like she makes like small conversation and she'll be like, oh, what did you guys do this weekend? Did you see this movie? Did you go on a trip? Like whatever. Like she'll start off the class with that and then be like, hey guys, and we start. And then in the middle, like we'll be doing a problem and she would just like lighten the mood and be like, oh, like, have you gone to watch this movie? I didn't like it. Did you guys like it? And we'll be like, oh yeah, like it's like good because it's not solely like just work, 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 and you can't think about anything else. Like it's kind of like light, and then they make it like a comfortable environment for you to be engaged in.
Nice. So, how would you describe our service to another student? Like, what should they know?
Okay, so I've already recommended to a few of my friends and I've warned them, like, okay, yes, it's gonna be a lot of work. You're gonna need to put in a lot of time and effort into it. There's a lot of homework. There's gonna be like, at least for me, there were about like 13 to 15 assignments per week. It could be like a little bit under, but it's obviously a lot for 1 week and you're gonna see it and be like, oh my God, it's 13 assignments. Like that's crazy. But some of them are like only a few pages. You can pace yourself. Like you kind of need to make a little like planner for yourself and be like, okay, Monday I'm gonna do this one and this one. The next day I'm gonna do this one, this one. And they're really just they also make a little list for you. So it'll be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like the order that you need to do it in. And that really helps you too, because let's say you just learned something on one pack and then it's gonna help you with the next one. And then it's gonna be easier when you have to do so many questions. Like you just really need to be committed to it if you want to get that score and you want to see the improvement. You're already doing the course, just give it your all, and that's the only way that you're gonna see the results. Because if not,
Do you feel like that the workload was like necessary for you to make your improvement?
sure, yeah. I mean, I think also like math is just also like a lot of practice too. So like the only way you're gonna, on top of like memorizing and learning, like you need to be practicing it constantly, or else you're gonna forget it. Like there's no way besides doing the work. That's it.
Yeah, so you just need to work. And how do you? Well, I have two questions. So one, how do you manage your workload?
Can I?
Like, what was your key for you to be able to like get it? Because by the way, you got more work than other kids sometimes.
Uh,
Don't hate me, but it was because I adapt to the student,
uh,
or sorry, we adapt to the student. And when I see someone hungry, I match that
yeah,
because the more you do, the more you can improve. Right
yeah.
now, if somebody's overwhelmed, I'm gonna match that too. I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm not gonna overwhelm them more.
Mhm.
Right, like I'm gonna try to like whatever. So you were doing. I mean, it was a summer.
Yeah, and definitely like the summer also is what worked for me because during the year, like I'm already so overwhelmed as it is that I wouldn't be able to do it during the year. Like the summer really worked for me because I usually have a very busy schedule between like school, homework, dance. I have dance team at school. Like I have a lot going on that like to really be like able to focus on the assignments and like what I'm learning and really process it, if for sure the summer was the best option for me. So that really
Did you
worked.
do anything else in the summer or no?
Like to prep for it, you're saying?
No. I guess like did you have any classes or go on any trips? Or
Oh yeah. I mean, I go to my dance nationals, which is like a week and a half long, almost 2 weeks in Vegas, where I'd have to like do my work in my hotel room. Like it wasn't anything crazy. Like I do a little bit like on the airplane there, then I do like a little bit in between my classes because even in nationals, like it was like all day. Like it was classes and then rehearsal and then competition. Like it was, but you can find time in between it. And like it sounds crazy, but like really just dedicate like 2 hours, like maybe twice, and you'll be good for like however long it is. You know what I'm saying? Like you just really need to like make the time for it. And I also go on like my summer vacation with my family. I have dance all summer, like it never stops. Like it's always like I have classes. So I just need you just need to work your schedule around it. It's only 1 day a week too. So it's like the class, like just make it happen. Like you can make it work for sure.
if you didn't do it in the summer, how do you think you would manage?
I don't know what I do. Like the summer like really saved me. Like and I was considering for like for this time that I did it, doing it during the year, and I was like, there's no way I could have done it during the year. Like between all my APs and like my classes, like dance team, like I said, like it's like I feel it would be even more stressful because on
Like
top of my regular classes to have more work is like I don't know. And college
you
apps.
oh no, yeah, no, no, pause. Yeah, senior year is a different story. And that
Yeah.
is actually crazy. Uh,
Yeah.
that's why you try to get it out of the way before that. But you probably could pull it off during the year, but you just wouldn't be able to pull off what you did.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'd be able to pull it off, but I don't think I would have gotten the same results as I would have, like as I did in the summer.
How many hours were you putting in per day?
Per day. I mean, it varied. Some days was like were different than others. So I either do, I think like minimal would probably be like 2 hours a day because while you're doing the assignments, it's like the time flies because you're just trying to get it, like you want to get it done and understand it. That it's like either watching a video that goes along with the assignment or you're just like doing something that you learned in class. Some days it'll be like an hour and you just do one packet, or like the next day it could be like three if you have extra time. Like whatever, whenever you have free time, just like take advantage of it and do it because you have nothing else to do. Just get that work done and you'll be able to get it like into your head. Like that's it.
Because I usually tell the students like an average of like if you want to improve like 100 plus or more, about an hour a day, I would say on average. Um, if you want to improve like 200 points,
Yeah.
you're probably doing like at least two. That's what I
Yeah.
in a 10-week period, I mean, right?
Hmm.
Um, but I understand that everybody has a different hour, a different 2 hours, a different like different levels of focus. I don't know. So I always like to ask and see how you guys made it like work. Did you do anything like when you were studying that helped you focus more? Like, would you put your phone
Oh,
away, or you
yeah.
distracted all the
I
time?
I usually have my phone there, but I'll always put it on do not disturb because I can't focus otherwise. Like in class too, like I need to put it on do not disturb because if my friends are texting me or anyone's texting me or they're sending me something, like I need to have my phone away because I easily get distracted. Like I said, like I have a low attention span, so if something like distracts me, like I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah.
Me too. I think most people, to be honest, like
Hmm.
nowadays, at least, that's what I tell people. It takes time to get focused.
Hmm.
Like once you're focused, you don't want to lose that, right?
Yeah.
Like once you lose it, then you got to like refocus.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like you lose so much time there. So that's I mean, people probably hear this and probably be like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, put your phone away, bro. Like,
No, it's true. It really helps to like just like lock in. Like that's it.
yeah,
But,
lock in. That's the new phrase.
mhm.
Nice. So, was there anything in particular about the prep course that you found more helpful than the other stuff, or did you just find like the whole thing in general, like just kind of on point, I guess?
I think it's just one of the main things is just how on top of them, like how on top of us you are, because it gets annoying sometimes that it'll be like, oh, like on a random like Friday night, like, hey, have you done this? But it's like you guys need to be on top of people for them to get the work done and successfully like understand it, comprehend it. Because if they're jamming 6 packets into one day, there's no way they're actually understanding it. Like you can't if you guys are like you set up, like I said, you do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, however many assignments it is. You give us a list, we plan it out. We need to make time between our day, and you keep us on track. And you're like, hey, have you done this yet? I think that's like one of the most important things because if not, then people would just like be going crazy, whether they jam it all into 6 days or they take their time. Like it just, I don't know. It would definitely help for sure.
It helps them spread it out. You're talking about the WhatsApp chat, right?
Yeah.
We check in with you like 2 to 3 times a week, maybe too many times, but if you do your work, we check in less.
Yeah, that's true.
But I agree. I always think about this. So, what
Mhm.
proportion of the improvement you can attribute to like the classes versus the practice exams versus the homework and the work that the student does outside of class? I guess practice exams like fills into that, right? Like I always tell the students, like if you went to class and you did no homework, you might not even improve at all.
Mhm.
And I'm always stressing the homework. Like the homework is probably like 60% of your improvement, maybe, right? I don't know. How do you feel about that?
No, yeah, the homework definitely is a huge like we said, like although it's like time consuming and you might not want to do it, like the homework is the only way that you're gonna get that practice in and it's really gonna like instill onto your mind because if not, it's not gonna work. Like you just need to be like continuously practicing, going over the formulas, being like, oh, this is what I messed up on, and look, they sent me the answers so that I could see which part it was specifically that I messed up on. Like all of that homework is really helping you up until the next class. Like you need to catch up until you get to the next class and then you learn something new and then you keep going. Like it's like a cycle. Like you just need to keep practicing the whole time.
I got two more for you in that like arena. When it came to the practice exams, did you go over the solutions? Like, how would you like? What was your ritual with that?
So originally, I don't know if I did it the first time, but the second time I started going over the formulas maybe after like you guys always send the answers and I was never sure if it was like that important to look at it. So let's say like the first two I didn't. And then I was like, okay, let me try it. Like, I don't know. Like, I've never done this before. Let me see. Like, because it was also like, you need to go over the formulas if you want to on top of the extra homework. So I'd be like, no, forget it. I'm not going to look over the extra formulas or the extra answers. So then, like, let's say like the third practice exam, I started looking at the answers and seeing what I did wrong and why I did it wrong. And it literally made the world of a difference. Like you let's say you get like 10 answers wrong. It's only 10 questions that you're literally just looking at what you did wrong, making a little note, making a note on your notebook, whatever, something on the side so you can like remember and like be like, okay, for the next practice exam, I just need to remember I can't make this mistake. I need to remember this formula. So it really helps. They help a lot.
So you recommend
Yeah.
always go over your practice test exam or
Yeah.
solutions? Because I know some students don't. You know, like I just know it. I'm like, you did not go. And I don't know. Like, yeah, we're gonna teach you a bunch of stuff in class,
Hmm.
but nothing's the same. Like, no matter what, like it's not the same as just taking the test and going over what you got wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right,
Yeah,
cool.
you make the same mistake too. Like when you see it and then you're like, why do I keep making this mistake? And then you see it, it was literally in the answers. Like
A
that's all
lot
you
of the times it's silly.
have.
That's what I tell the students. I'm like, in the beginning, if you don't go over your mistakes, you're gonna keep making like the same silly mistake.
Hmm.
Not even the mistake that like you're gonna learn in class. It's just like the one little thing that like you watch one video, you're good.
Yeah.
So okay, cool. All right. So ultimately, what result did we help you get? What was the final score and your total improvement?
Well, yeah, from 10th is 440, so it's 300.
Nice.
Yeah.
You took it. So run me through the whole transition though, because you took it the course twice. So start from the 440 and go through the whole thing.
Okay, so I got a 510 ninth grade. Then 10th grade, I got a 440. And then right after 10th grade, the next like the actual like my first SAT was after the course. So then I got the 660. And then I had taken a few in between just to try to raise my reading too, because I knew that it probably wouldn't go any higher, like my math, unless I did the course again, which I ended up doing this past summer. And then that's when I went from the 660 to the 740.
Perfect. So then that's from the 440. So technically 300 points.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. I'm letting you know right now, that's not like, that's a crazy improvement. And I'm not even saying it about us, I'm saying it about you.
Yeah.
So, like, congrats, because that's not normal. Even in our program, like the average is like in the summer, the average, you want to know what the average was?
Well,
Like 130, which is good. But even like with two timers, take it twice, whatever, like 300 is not normal. So that says a lot about you and how much work ethic you have.
yeah.
You told me you did 13 assignments. Yeah, not everyone did 13 assignments.
Yeah.
Don't scare your friends that bad.
Yeah. Well, some of my friends already took it, so they're like used to it now. Like I
There
think
you
at
go.
least four of my friends already took it
Nice.
after, yeah.
So, so awesome, man. Congrats. So like what has this result meant for you, or enabled you to do?
Well, it's definitely relaxed me more because I knew I was going to be very stressed with college applications and stuff. And my top school is like UF. So I'm hoping either UF or FSU because I want to stay in state. So those are my top two schools. And I just really wanted the SAT score to be one thing that was that peace of mind. Besides like GPA, all my classes, all of that is something else. Like SAT score is such a big thing for Florida schools that I just really wanted that bright futures and to be secure, at least in that category for my colleges. So it for sure helped me and like paid, it's going to help pay for my college and pay for my studies and all of that. So it really makes a world of difference, especially if you don't have like Florida prepaid. Like I have it, but a lot of my friends don't. And once they get 75 and 100%, like that bright futures makes a world of a difference. So just through SAT score, that's like amazing.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. You have any advice for any students on this journey right now?
Just like pull through. Like I know it's hard and like towards the end you just kind of want to like give up and be like, okay, I've done all I need to do. But even like leading up to the test, like I'm not saying like the night before, go crazy studying, but leading up to it, like study and just like put in all the work, like through the classes, through the homework, like just towards the end, like grind it out so that it's just like you're done. Like you're done and that's all you can do. And once you see that test score, it's like peace of mind, you're done. And you got the score you wanted. You're gonna have an improvement. No matter how high it is, you're gonna have a great improvement and you're gonna be so happy with your score.
Piece of pie, piece of mind. I like that.
Yep.
That's dope. Um, how could our program be improved for future students?
Um, honestly, I don't know. I can't think of any specific thing that could have been improved necessarily. It's just really whether you're willing to put in the work, like I said. So if you're not willing to put in the work, then don't do it. Because it's like you're giving us all the resources and all we need to succeed and get the scores that we want. So it's just really on like based on the individual. Like it's not necessarily anything specific with the course. It's just who you are as a person and what you want to like accomplish. So it's just really all that.
Cool. Anything else we should know?
Um, no, I think that's it.
All right, awesome. I appreciate you as a student. You were a great student
Thank you
and
so
made
much.
my life very easy.
Thank you. Thank you for helping me so much. I appreciate it.
Of course, of course. So last words, was it worth it?
It was 100% worth it. Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Peace.